I'm gonna lag.
Hello and welcome back to the Coastal Conclave. As we return, apologies for late start, we're just doing a little bit of a sound test, so if you notice anything a little bit off.
I was here the whole time!
We swearsies.
I'll just fix Richard's camera up once we go to the that way.
Alright, come on. You get nice and close.
Probably had it reset for when Mike was away. Because you can see we've got Mike back.
Oh, sorry.
So
Ding.
let's turn Mike's nameplate back on. There we go. He's officially with us. His nameplate is now on screen.
Should be ready to
We'll
emo
go very
fastest.
quickly to our recap, so you can catch up on where we finished off last session, and then we'll get straight into it.
Hello friends, Lilith here, back from my escapades and once again in the company of these very interesting and very entertaining group of adventurers. I never thought I'd hold this device again in my hand, to be honest, but yet here we are. It's as if some strange fate ties me to this group. How downright awful. But it could be worse. I could be back in the palace in the Feywild. Anyways, I digress. We continued our delve into the ancient city of Athelingflein, or however it's pronounced, this divine bastion buried beneath the sands to the south of the Daline, and the Empire holds the Eye of Mystra. Somewhere here, that ancient artifact resides. Kit, the group's new companion after Eleni and Izmir had departed, had some deep connection to this godforsaken place, something about a redeemer, some mortal turned god. But she was guiding us to the eye, and after she had a vision, after touching some stone, she had a direction for us to head. Continuing deeper into the city ruins, we avoided battle. Annoyingly so, but probably for the best, as there were many powerful and ancient entities haunting this place, and while I know I could deal with them, I'm pretty sure the party would be less capable. Finally, we came across another ruined temple near the heart of the city, and here we found a glowing crystal set atop an altar and icons of the gods arranged around the ruined walls. I took up a scouting position to keep an eye out for threats while my companions assessed the mechanisms, and deducted that matching the symbols on the ground from the altar to the ones in the wall would activate them. And one by one they completed these small trials to activate the seals, ranging from riddles to more tangible interactions. I especially enjoyed when the Bahamut statue blasted Kit and Lolliput with fire when they struck it. I didn't think I've ever laughed so hard in my life, especially when I told them to do it again and they refused. Honestly, these two have no sense of humor. Eventually I came down and easily activated the last two sigils. I mean, what would they do without me? And the crystal glowed and the Redeemer projected herself before us. She gave us the Eye of Mystra, the artifact we had sought, and also explained she could show us a moment in time. The group chose to see the future where the events of the alignment would be decided, and foresaw a great battle around the silver-veiled tree. Lolliput's home burned and ash as forces of demons and devils fought with humans and various factions. It was certain that allies and finding the final seal would be key to where our priorities are, and we left the ruins after sneaking back through the city and emerging out into the desert once more. Where we go from here, well, there's multiple paths to tread.
And we're back. Thank you. Andrew just got his story finished in time.
I did.
Both of them.
So hopefully, and that's a good start with the microphone. Well done. Hopefully you're all caught up on what happened 2 weeks ago now. 2 or 3? 3. How we got?
Let's just be safe and say 7.
That's right. So, we will pick up with the group. I'm done.
Oh, sorry. That's my fault, folks.
Still crossing the desert with their guide, Amar, in the Colin Desert. So we've just left the ruins. And you guys want to pick up and do anything that you would like to do in the deserts?
I would like to complain loudly about the desert.
We dug in and had a rest in the sands.
Yeah, I think that was where we were heading up to.
Mm-hmm.
I would like the classic shot of me on Zilliput, my insect mounts back, pouring out sand from my boot with one of my cravats tied in that typical four corners kind of way, trying to keep the. Wait! It's still we still at night, or are we in the morning now?
It's now. We rested through the daytime because of the desert heat, so it's just coming into early evening.
Okay, cool. Still set. The sunset backdrop, the night turned into twilight. As a background behind me, as I do the things I just said I did.
Easy enough. Lilith does those things.
Yes, didn't need to roll for it.
Does the thing.
This guy.
You can do a performance check to see how glorious you look. And Lilith is actually
It's in that 20.
beautiful. Yeah, it is majestic.
Yeah.
Sun gleams off all the right pieces of chitin, all the right segments of Zilliput. Your hair flows.
How many people are attracted to me?
Roll a d6.
There are 6 people, so 0.
1.
You're
1.
yeah.
Zilliput.
He's a good boy.
He's like,
Is there anything anyone else would like to do as we make our way, or as the party makes their way back to the camp of the Lingiari people?
it's hot.
It's the desert, of course it's hot.
Why does the desert have to be so hot? There's nowhere in the Feywild that's this stupidly hot. This is ridiculous.
I thought you said it was like the deep south. Isn't it warm in the south? The
Not in the
deep
Feywild. It's actually cold, especially in the unseelie wet parts. Cold. Some swamps, damp, moist, very moist.
cold and swampy. That follows.
In my 23
The core component of his backstory.
The swamps of the unseelie court were so moist.
The mold issues. There's so many mold issues.
So much mold issues. Like, I mean, the hags don't care. They eat the shit. So
But didn't we rested through the day and it's now getting towards night, right?
yeah.
Yes.
Still
But
too
you're
hot.
still complaining about it.
Still
It's,
too
it's
hot.
getting
Yes.
cooler. And I thought I was
How
the
cold-
emotional one.
You're always emotional. It's just part of the course at this point.
Yes. See episodes 21 and 22.
Faustus, you are aware that travel by land to get to where you need to go in Silvervale would likely take you through the crossroads. Unless you want to go completely off the main track and just head directly north. But you know that there is no real suitable roads. It would be a fairly dangerous trip, particularly in wartime.
We don't have a faster way to get back than walking. Horses. If we get back to the Lingiari, perhaps they might be able to provide us mounts. Remind me, what was the name of the city that we left from the nearby city before we came to the desert? I have it
The
on
one
my
in the
papers.
bar.
Where we left
Yes.
off our horses originally.
Corella?
That sounds right.
Corella?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Colia? Yeah, Colia. So our path would take us from wherever we are through Lingari camp to Colia, then north from there.
Yes.
And roughly, I'm pondering how long that would take.
On foot. In your best estimation, 40. Exactly, 40. All the way to the Sewer Vale, you're looking at probably 15 days travel. The crossroads, probably 6 or 7 days.
6 or 7. And the thinking there might be that we have friends who may be able to assist us in getting where we need to go, maybe slightly faster. Does anybody... No, it was the dwarf city we went to that... Did Arctic drop us off in the dwarf city? You know, before we came to Colia? Yes. Wasn't it he who got us there quickly?
Yeah. Arctic to the dwarf city, and then the dwarves sent us down. So
So I'll be watching this majestic vision of Lolliput, like as the, sun sets, whilst in the background, Lilith is complaining very loudly whilst pouring sand out of her large hat, like it's a vessel for sand.
I'm just prestidigitating that in and I'm like, look how much sand is in here. It just keeps coming out.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but, and I count myself amongst this, how could we have not thought of a faster return trip from here?
No, don't look at me. You found me here.
What was your intention once you left your quest with your friends?
Go south and meet up with the other people.
What other people?
The whatever cultists,
Ah, yes.
psychos,
Yes. Okay.
Seraphine's group.
And so I look at Lolliput and Kithis. I said, did you guys have any thoughts about how we get back?
Well, we can take the same way that I came into these lands before I encountered most of y'all at the crossroads. But took a while. If only we had a Lenny here. She could use her wily charms on that short little person and send us straight there.
Oh, Arctic, yes.
I mean,
Yes, they certainly
can
had a
he
connection.
just send us anyway?
I've got it, and I turn into a Lenny.
Now, how do we communicate? How do we get in touch with Arctic? I feel like this ruse is foolproof.
Maybe if I just shake it enough, he'll pick it up. I like to assume that he's just watching for Lenny at some point. So, I'm gonna perform a very borderline erotic dance. Definitely not safe for work, which is really great because we're working in this this medium here.
Yep.
Just seeing if I can catch the notice of a certain archmage.
You're all performance.
What is he doing? Why is he doing it right now?
I have
folks,
no idea.
Just remember, I've already wasted my natural 20, so...
So you roll the second one.
So that is a 24 on the sexy dance.
Even I start moving.
Don't ruin it, Faustus!
It's a lovely, seductive dance that Faustus quite enjoys, but there is no response from your gnomish friend.
Yet.
Yeah. I pause there, kind of like wait for Arctic's voice to ring in my head. Oh, that didn't work.
Yes,
I'm out of ideas.
I'm not sure what we might have
Wonderful.
expected there. Winterfloor, any thoughts?
I have nothing.
I guess it's the standard way, as fast as we can.
Well, I mean, we weren't sure what we'd encounter back there, so, a return trip was always a maybe, let's be honest. But, so, Arctic, this person...
The Archmage of the Imperium, yes.
Right. Of course.
Very important.
Perfect sense.
Likes large, half-orcish barbarians, very much.
He's also completely fucking useless.
Helpful in a pinch, though, can teleport you long ways.
Yes, okay. So, how did you get in contact with him beforehand?
Well, that's a long story, and I regale her for a good 15 minutes of the tales where you...
Oh, God, Faustus, shut up!
And
I
so,
yell back, you left out the part where you caressed that building.
Yeah, you glossed over that one.
finally we ended up in Mordoon, and yes, we did get rid of a lay of fire. Janasi just completely go, and yes, he was very upset about that. But fundamentally, we needed information about this corruption, and he was, let's say, corrupted himself in a way. Trying to keep that on the quiet. Yes.
Okay, but how did you get in contact with him?
Oh, you didn't want the whole story. Well, we had a sending stone at one point, which I don't think we have now.
I don't know. It's probably with Eleni and Izmir,
Yes.
right?
Yes. And he never gave us anything to, any sort of port key or way to return. And we, as I look around to the desert, I see no way to incant or get a message to him from so far away.
Well, if we have a couple of hours and we can find somewhere where I can pick up some magical scrolls, I could probably get something to send him a message.
I mean, yes, that sounds fantastic.
You know, you could have saved me some time.
No, I sometimes I just love watching you, you know, drone on and put your foot in it.
You love the sound of my voice, I know.
We do have
It does help me get to sleep.
one other option.
That's all I put.
You see Lollyput's holding a sending stone in his hand. Now,
Or you can get Mummy to come pick you up.
I have some misgivings about using this. But less than I did a 10-day ago.
We don't know the depth to which she's entangled in this. We know she wants Lilith to rise. Yeah, no, yes, Lilith to rise. No
I'm
one wants
beginning to
Lilith
believe that there are
It just puts there.
the line between what we see as an evil deity. I look at Falstus. And what we see as good might not be as clearly distinct as I once thought. My mother has made no secret to this point that she supports the release of Lolth, who is trapped in the Celestial Bastion,
Indeed.
along with all the other terrible foes and nasty stuff that we're trying to stop. And yet, when I look at Kit, the Redeemer is in there too.
For some strange reason.
Now, I've told you all that Alindra seemingly supported this nasty end of times entity, and Lolth opposed her. I cannot say that she is an ally nor a benefactor of mine, and I cannot say that she does not have her own agenda. But if that gate is going to open, no matter what, might we take advantage of our enemy's enemy?
Yes, it's pragmatic.
I'd have this be a joint decision. One for the group.
As it stands, I'm happy for you to make the decision, go along with it. As we spoke to the Redeemer, she mentioned that, well, there is, despite the deities we think of as inherently evil, they still need a domain to rule over. When the other option is complete and utter return of, this entire plane of existence to the void. They are going to be incentivized to help us, even if we can't necessarily rely on their, continued alliance. But when 40 days of suffering and then potentially just nothing is on the table, we need to get past that hurdle first.
Yes. Perhaps yet we may find peace with our enemies. It's a yes from me.
It's a yes from me.
Oh, I'm anything that. I'm very, very happy to see how this unfolds. It's going to make me very happy. So yes.
Can I reconsider my answer in light of this new information?
No, you locked it in.
I'm happy.
All right.
I keep telling you guys, you're the most entertaining group of individuals I've found on this plane of existence. And family dramas are always fun to watch.
I put my hand on Lolliput's
Don't,
shoulders.
oh, God.
I'm like,
No.
it'll be okay.
No.
Watch out, Lolliput, it's about to mind review.
Falstus.
Yes.
Personal space, please.
I'm sorry.
We're getting there, we're just not there yet.
Fine, I merely wanted to show support for you in what must be a very difficult call to make.
Noted. All right. Okay. We got this.
Do you want me to do it?
Shall I do a silly voice?
I'll just speak. Do you want me to just message her on your behalf?
No,
No.
you stabbed the last person from my household you ran into.
Yeah, but she had it coming. And you didn't really like her either.
No, I mean, she was a jerk.
Can I make one suggestion?
Yes.
Can you please drop the disguise self and stop looking like Eleni?
That would actually be a really good.
I don't think she can see me. Is it weird for you guys?
I walk up and I just like go to the crotch area.
Nope, didn't feel a thing. Try again. Nope.
That's very, very convincing disguise. You know what? You could have actually probably stuck with the name.
Okay, well, if it wasn't weird before, it is now. So yes, please.
All right.
Will always better.
Okay, we got this. All right.
Spell fails somewhere halfway between Eleni and Lilliput.
Yeah, that's dope. I'm very distracted by this. So you get like half Eleni. Lolly put it in a loincloth. Okay, we got this. All right. I'll just do it. Hi, Mom. It's just hold music.
It's the dial-up modem sound.
I somehow thought this would happen. It happened.
What?
I fell into your trap.
I activate my DM trap card.
Wait, is this the first time
Planning.
since I've been here that we've accidentally stumbled into a plot point you planned for, as opposed to away from it?
I'm so
Beautiful moment.
I've let everybody
I just
down.
want to take a moment to just absorb.
Just bask in your glory,
We
DM.
appreciate you.
See, now I'm pretty excited about that.
Mom, all I can hear is heavy breathing.
Quickly, pivot, change your mind.
We're off to
It
Miami.
does take a little bit of time before there's a response, but you do hear the familiar voice of your mother come back. Lilith, I was hoping that you would contact us soon.
Yeah. How's things? Oh, okay, I'll try. I'll wait.
Put you on hold. There's some funky nature-based music coming. So they can only use once per day. So you've only said hello, Mum. And her response is, I was hoping you would come and there have been many attacks on the Silver Veil. We are stoic and resilient, but heavily outnumbered. Return home.
And I can't use it again. Oh my god.
That's one sending spell.
Battlefield trap.
Excuse me, Dungeon Master. May I beseech you to retcon this, because I believe I would have known from the last time I used it.
Yeah. You go at the same explanation.
I mean, you
I thought he was legit doing a bit. He was like, oh, no, can't hear it, and then puts it away, and then Lilith just sits there and goes, you have to actually activate it.
Yeah, did you actually try?
Oh wait, is it this button here?
No, you just give it here.
No.
I'm showing you how to use it.
Just show me with your eyes.
Press that, say these words, and it'll activate. Then say what you want to say to her.
I feel like I heard her in my mind, anticipating. All right, let's do this. Hello, Mother. It is Lolliput. How are you? I'm good. So we're in the desert, just south of
25 words, Lilliput, send help.
Okay, sorry, I forgot. Recon. Need a lift. Teleportation, please. Thank you. Respond.
I don't think that's a delete button.
And I can't control Z.
Oh, it's like old Twitter.
I'm plugging a USB keyboard to it.
Alright.
We can just keep. I mean, like, we can spend hours on this.
Say message in response.
I'm here for the montage.
So,
Wait, did you predict that he would also stuff up the sending spell?
Oh my gosh. Layers upon layers.
Is that 2 from 2?
Look, at this point in time, I'm giving you inspiration.
Yeah, a round of applause.
Mum one does give you that same response, but we'll tack on that she's looking for a way to assist. And you know that there's really only one major desert on the continent, so it's likely she knows where you're talking about.
Excellent. All part of my plan.
So,
We all can.
So she says that forces are being marshaled against them.
Yes, they're being attacks. They're resisting but heavily outnumbered in essence.
Resisting but heavily outnumbered. And she will try and assist us. I think she believes she knows where we are.
Well, that would be good. Kind of hard to help us if she doesn't.
I don't know what I was worried about. That was fine. I sounded good, right? Sound confident? Yep.
fantastic.
Yeah, okay, good.
How do you
Little just
feel?
smile.
Do you okay?
I mean,
Cheshire.
I think I need to sit. I need to sit down.
While this has been happening, you have been crossing the desert, and you see that your guide Iran rushes off for the nearest rock.
The hell is he doing?
It's reminiscent of
No, we
when you
run.
first met the Lingiari people. As the sand begins to pulse,
I think I spoke with rhythm.
so
We went sandwalk.
We didn't do the sand walk.
you do the sand walk. And so the sand begins to pulse, and you see something coming very quickly underneath the sand.
What the hell is
I
that?
dash for the rock.
So, none of you have enough perception to figure out that it was coming. Page, there we go. I'll get everyone to roll initiative.
Off to a great
As
start.
one of the giant sandworms that you
Right, Queen's dice.
have
Let's
seen
see.
warned
Yeah.
and witnessed
Not great.
previously. Let's pick up his stats so I can get what that's going to be.
What type of creature is this? Do we perceive it to be a beast or is it a monstrosity?
It is some sort of giant armored sandworm that you're being told by the Lingiari people they call them sandworms. I actually might put it back over here so he's in the camera. That's going to be closer. You guys can get further back. Alright, so anyone 25 to 20?
21.
Me too.
Same as.
Please.
Alright, so and Isabel, what is your dexterity?
My
Probably
dexterity.
higher. So answer monkey.
Because it's +5.
Yeah.
Impossible.
Plus 8.
So Isabel will be first. Anyone 15 to 20?
Yes. 16.
16 for Kit. 10 to 15.
Oh wait, I've got a gift on. Sorry, I'm actually at 20. There's a gift or a pretty.
Faustus.
I got a high 3.
That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's pretty good. Okay. So, Isabel is first.
Yeah.
Isabel reacts the quickest.
Okay. Where's Isabel?
Just give me 1 sec while I sort out some combat music. You guys are all six back. Cool.
No. Is it? I don't think I can help them.
Just waiting for you to rush out and punch it.
Isabel will run up onto the rock, not towards.
Towards the up on the rock.
Yeah, closer to our guide.
Okay, you go up on the rock.
Yep, about there, and she will wait. Actually, she will ready her staff for when the worm gets closer.
Ready your start for an attack when it gets closer.
Yes, sir.
So it's your turn. Lollipops.
So I am gonna hastily ride Zillyput, my faithful insect mouth, up onto the rocks. And I will then, from a shadowy crag on the rock face, those who are paying attention to something other than the giant armored snake might see a spider the size of a direwolf crawl out and head straight for the snake.
Alright, so should we have dagger spider or normal spider? Dagger spider.
I mean, when you've got spider options, always take the dagger spider.
Yeah, it's the coolest type of spider.
So that was my bonus action. And then I will cast Mind Sliver.
Alright.
So targets must succeed on an intelligence saving throw, and it has disadvantage while the spider is near it. Intelligence. How smart is this?
That is a wonderful 5.
Ooh, goody. Okay, so
Not terribly smart, no.
he's not a smart snake.
No.
Good to know.
Haha, dumb stick.
Okay, so that's 2 points of psychic damage and 1d4 away from its next saving throw.
Alright. So you see it rear back, and its little antennas start to twitch as it takes that psychic damage. You can see, and its eyes fixate in the general direction of the rock, but it doesn't seem to be able to see very well. You notice. Lilith.
I am activating Blade Song. Once upon a midnight fury, as I sang my blade song weary, came a raven dark and eerie, whispering secrets dark and dreary, until in Elvish.
I've missed you, Lilith.
Shut up, false sister. As she
I love you too.
runs up.
It's tough love.
How far to it for me? 20
It's only about 20 feet away.
20 feet away? Okay, I'm going to run up. She's going to run up and sort of like do a bit of a cartwheel and then sort of jump up and do a pirouette, pulling the rapier out at the same time, and she's going to make an attack. 14?
A 14 misses, unfortunately, as it clatters off that thick, heavy armor.
And as she lands on the ground, she does like barrel roll forward and then strikes again, activating a booming blade cantrip for her attack. Much better. 24.
Definitely hits.
And it's going to cop that. And garbage. Actually, it wasn't that bad. 9 points of piercing damage and 5 points of thunder damage. And I'm going to run 30 feet to the other side over here. That's like, you're a big boy. Let's play. Up onto the other dune.
Alright. Now you've got mobile, haven't you?
I do. So he will not do anything with me.
No.
But he is shimmering with thunderous energy.
Alright. It is now Kit's turn.
Excellent. So Kit will run up onto the rock back to safety, as she knows it from the past encounter. So I would like to quickly shout out to Aran, and so do they feel or do they hear?
They sense the vibrations in the sand. You're on the rocks, so you won't be able to see or locate you, but if you step on the sand, they'll have you.
Buggery. Okay. Just so this is all because of Lolliput twerking. So just so you know.
Chain reaction.
Yep.
I wear that badge.
Probably shouldn't.
So Kit will basically take a moment to ready her weapon, sort of unwinding it and getting ready to swing, and then will raise a hand out towards the creature, and with a look of concentration, call forth a spiritual weapon.
No hammer.
Which will spiritual weapon look like?
It will, of course, take the appearance of a trident, which, when looked at out the corner of your eye, does appear to have a slight glow that might be sort of the flutter of wings around it, but never quite on, when directly seen.
So this beautiful glowing trident appears. Might be a bit of a lag issue, I think. It's alright.
But only when looked at through the corner of your eye?
And the spiritual weapon will lash out.
Emotionally?
And physically. It's a double attack.
Brutal. Its self-esteem is probably pretty low as well.
Well, yes, but the problem is it feels, not hears, so I can't insult it.
That's exactly.
It also can't read.
You just let it know you're disappointed.
Oh, it will know.
Go ahead and roll attack.
Okay, so. Well, that's a natural 20.
Snap 20! We can get a graphic for that, right?
Yes. Yes is the answer.
Whoa!
We can go full,
we
like,
have that.
90s.
We need to flash up like a thing like the bowling alley.
Yeah.
It needs to be so
With the
bad.
terrible, like, 3D graphics and everything.
Spiral way.
Okay, so normally 1d8. Do I get the extra dice on that? Because
What do we say?
Spiritual weapon.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Just double checking. Look, it's worth checking.
Just roll the double damage.
I can live with that. So that is 16 force damage.
Very nice. As it rears up, you see that it's half of it appears, more than half appears to still be in the sand, and as that strike hits its back, you see it rear right up out of the sand, and it almost doubles in height. And you realise that it is quite a large worm.
I thought it was a snake.
And it is now its turn. And it is going to spit its poison in the general direction of the last few people it sensed the vibrations of. And it has a 60-foot range.
I think you may be in range.
10 feet wide, so that will get everyone. So I'll get Kit, Isabel, and Lolliput to make a dexterity saving throw for me. I get a few more dice out. I didn't get any dice.
Oh no. Oh no. DM has to go get one dice.
Danger.
Got the wrong side of the dice out for him. So I had most.
What a good day to have good dexterity.
Rub it in.
Wonderful day.
Yeah. Speak for yourself.
I've got so much dexterity. I don't know what to do with it.
Plus 8.
Oh, I felt like he gave you some of my dexterity. That's you. That's you.
It's you right now. That's what you sound like. That's what you sound like.
I don't like the counting
Okay.
going on.
Isabel.
27.
26, so that's a save. You take 42 points of acid damage, so 21 points. Acid damage.
Brutal.
Git,
That's an 11.
11, 42 points of acid damage.
Want the good news or the good news?
Brilliant news.
Yeah, cool. Cool.
Not only did he fail,
42
but
points.
also takes him down.
Yeah, it's a 13.
That is its turn.
That's a lot of acid damage.
It's
Do you know how much HP I have?
42.
No, he's not going to move. He's going to stay.
Oh, if only. Oh, whoa, oh my gosh, jeez. I actually was surprised to survive that.
That brings us to Aram's turn, and you see him bolt forward, and he leaps off the stones and tries to land on top of the worm, lashing out with his sword. That is, what does that hit? Yes, that just hits. An 18 does 15 points of slashing damage. As you see his blade dig into that thick hide, and if you remember that the Lingiari people have weapons and armor made out of the scales of these things, and you see it slice through and it leaves this huge big line down as he slides down, still attached to his sword, leaving a massive gaping wound as thick red blood begins to pour out.
He just starts laughing.
No.
He goes, I didn't get me one of those. Can I have that?
I thought you were going to go for the blood.
Falseness.
Why is that funny? No, okay.
Faustus?
Yes.
Can I just say that your turn will be peppered by the continual screams of
But is Lilliput still standing?
Lolliput. Lolliput is just standing. He is has 2 health points. So down from 44 to 2. So allow that to kind of add to the texture or whatever screams would sound like.
But I do suspect that, like, it's all happening so fast in real time. I might not yet have realised the grave peril that Lilliput is in.
Yeah, no, there's a good chance that like his screams have gone ultrasonic and have yet to kind of get down to an audible level.
Interesting.
Instead, all you hear is Kit swearing her head off.
So, quick point of order. Starlight Step, which is one of my abilities. I have meta magic where I can extend the range of spells. Would Starlight Step count as a spell or an ability?
It's an ability because you're racial.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So, because
Does it say to cast the spell Starlight Step, or is it just the ability?
No, it says you can magically teleport. Okay, yeah. So I'm not technically casting anything. Okay, so fair enough. So what my intention is I'm sort of going to be like stomping really loudly as I walk into, like, away from the rock.
Yeah.
But so that I'm able to teleport 30 feet back. So I'm going to move a distance that still allows me to get up on the rock to try and get the thing's attention as I'm sort of stomping over there. I'm going to turn and I'm going to cast a first level guiding bolt.
Right.
At this creature. That's my +6. So that's for a 25 to hit. And first level is 46, we got 10. So that hits for 13, and we have advantage on the next attack, and then I will cast Starlight Step to teleport back onto the rock.
Onto the rock, in the middle of the group.
Damn beast, why won't I just leave?
So you just managed to get that. You do see the creature spin that way at the sound of that stomping.
Acid never strikes the same place twice. I'll heal you.
I don't know, that's what they say.
To the top, which is Isabel first.
So how far away is it from you?
From you guys up on the rock is about 20 feet.
You could definitely punch it.
You guys just spread out on top of the rock, so 20 feet down, going to give you terrain.
Although,
You're about 20 15 feet up on the rock and...
Oh, yeah, +2.
Oh, you took it. Yeah, continue. You go up to twice, key, step of the wind, and bounce out.
Yeah. I will step of the wind. I will step of the wind, like jump up, like, and go towards the sandworm.
Step of the wind. Fall over.
And try and attack it.
Go ahead and roll. If you can get around the side of you if you want, because you've got plenty of movement, and that will give you advantage with around flanking.
So advantage?
Yep, advantage.
I think you have advantage anyway, right?
Oh yeah, because of the
That is a 18.
that just hits.
Awesome.
As you manage to slam you punching or staff.
Staff.
You just see a little, as you hit. Initially, there's no impact. You see a slight crack in the carapace.
So that's 6 damage for the first one.
6.
I do have a second attack. Do I still have advantage?
You do because of the flanking.
Yeah.
Got flanking. Yeah.
That's cool.
Oh, much better. 24,
Definitely hits.
and that one does 6 damage again.
Minimum damage of both attacks.
Alright, so the second strike hits that same spot in the arm, and you can see that there's a bit of a gash opening up there, and thick blood starts to ooze through. And you're going to step it in back out, or are you saying something?
Back out.
Back out.
That would be
Classic monk.
Run in, punch twice, run away.
So do my road run out, step right. Alright. Anything else you'd like to do? I think that's all you've got. No key points there, you just step them in.
actually using my key points.
So Lolliput is like if you guys can think of the end of RoboCop with that poor guy who was covered in toxic waste just before the car hit him and he exploded. Lolliput's looking very melty right now.
Yep.
His cravat is ruined. Yeah.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Do you have left?
It is possibly his Krillin moment. So if there was ever a time that Lolliput could go Super Saiyan, it's probably
Lolliput gets owned. Lolliput gets owned.
You're from my claws. And I am going to muster the shadowy forces that powers of known as bestowed upon me and cast Phantasmal Force against the armored snake. So I'll need it to do a intelligence saving throw with -4, minus D4 to it.
Yeah, well, this could be interesting. Okay. That is a -2 on his save. So definitely fails.
Definitely fails. So the phantasmal force which is going to assail it is one of a giant. You know, the snake is big. The armored eagle, which I am manifesting into its mind, is even bigger. It's going to be crashing down, talons ripping at its armored scale. It's putting the fear of the gods into that snake. So let me just see. Each round, the turn Phantasmic can deal 1d6 psychic damage. I mean, it's a lot of jibber jabber I've just done for 1d6, but
It's alright.
it's
Very simple.
I mean, it's a 5.
5?
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah.
You see that its head rips back and it's a bit of a roar of pain. And then, as it's his turn,
Oh, it's not his turn yet.
no,
sorry.
it's not his turn yet, no.
No, of course.
It's his turn.
No, it's not. It's Lilith's turn. It's my spiders.
Spider, yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Very fine, right? Like 3 more people before it's turn.
Let's ignore that.
Okay.
Okay. She is going to just flourish with the rapier and then slide it back into its hilt, and then she like slaps her two hands together and she just goes, "All right, it's time to show you something new I've been working on." And she starts incanting this dark speech sort of thing, and as she extends her hands, shadow is like going down her arms and starting to form together a scythe made of shadow that she sort of blends out and then sort of grabs it and just like basically like just spins it around her like a baton type thing.
Goes full flying, crouching tiger, hidden dragon.
Yeah.
Spinny.
So that is Shadow Blade at 3rd level. And then she sort of crouches and sort of like does a pirouette and then she pegs it and it just sort of spins out and then comes around and slams into it. So
That's-
I'm going to
Impressively terrifying.
Shadow Blade Strike. Shadow Blade Strike does 19 to hit.
That does hit. It slices straight through that armor like it doesn't even exist. And 100 damage.
Jesus. Is that 2 8s? Yes. 16. 21.
21 points of damage. See that it goes straight through that carapace and then slices down through. Bits and pieces of internal organs slide out as the wound splits open from that shadowing.
So she, as it's sort of spinning and it starts to actually return to her, she starts running down, leaps up, goes like upside down over the top of it, grabs it and sort of brings it up over and then goes in for the second attack, and I'll be in base contact this time. And I'm going to activate Booming Blade, so Thunderous Energy goes coursing through it, and that is another 19 to hit. And we'll do this one and this one. So this is Shadow Blade, which only does 12 points of psychic damage and 7 points of thunder damage.
He is not looking good. As these wounds are beginning to pop up all over its carapace, and you can see there's a heavy pool of blood pooling in the sand. And then that's Laura's turn.
Well, I then back somersault backwards and just like kind of do that a few times, and then she gets all the way back to where she was.
You should get pretty much
It's
right
not fast.
which brings us to Git.
She just like crashes and just goes.
I hope you have some healing.
You okay?
Kit is in a very, very similar state to Lollipop at the moment.
Just sans the high pitched screaming.
Yeah. There's more a determined spite motivation rather than the screaming motivation. So she kind of staggers back up until she's standing upright again, rather than sort of half crouched, sort of clutching herself. Presses one hand to where the tattoo sits at her, basically at her chest, and a surge of light comes from her hand as she casts Cure Wounds on herself. I would, however, I am going to cast it at 2nd level and expend a charge from the Ring of the Redeemer.
Very nice.
So that will get me 2d8 without rolling,
Yeah.
thankfully, because I'm very, very sad right now.
You're sad.
Yes. I mean,
Was it partially modifier or is it 2D? It's just 2D.
plus modifier. So, no, modifier is +2. Look, I'm not a conventional cleric. So that's another 18. And then, well, I'd say run down, but there's a chance I may fall straight off the edge at this point in time. Carefully running down to basically to the creature as it stands writhing on the sand. And then she will action surge and swing.
Right. You've also still got your spiritual weapon, haven't you?
Yes. So swing. So there's a 19. I do have an expanded critical range, so that is also a crit. It's the first time that's actually come in handy. Okay. That is also a D8. Okay, so in terms of damage, let's find one of my other ones. You're here somewhere. There we go. So we have blue and purple. Radiant, non-radiant.
Very cool.
Very cool. Okay, so that is so 15 bludgeoning and 9 radiant. And then as it makes contact, she will let out a guttural cry of rage. And the end of the sensor will sort of glow with this sort of a mixture of sort of the purple and golden light that she now associates with the Redeemer's presence. As an extra 11 points of necrotic damage flow into the creature.
You notice that necrotic damage, I've left these steps, seems to really seep into those wounds and they begin to fester and boil. It takes a significant amount of damage from that.
Yeah.
And you still have your healing.
I do. I have one extra gentle stabbins. With a 7, that will likely do very, very little.
It just sort of completely misses as it's writhing in agony from that necrotic damage. You can see that it's sort of twisting and turning. And up close you can see that its eyes are definitely looking for somewhere to go. Alright, it is now the worm's turn. You see it rear up and burrows straight down into the sand, disappears.
You're about to say shoot.
It takes 12 points of thunder damage from moving
12 points of damage.
As it moves, it just explodes with thunderous energy.
You hear that explosion, but it's half muffled because it ducks so quickly you just see the sand go. And there are no signs of where it has gone. Coward! And you see that a lot of that was to do with the felt like it was under siege from above, which you can't really do too much about from the giant armored eagle. We'll stay in initiative. Duran's turn. He's going to head back over to the rocks and have a look around and see what he can find, which is not much. Faustus, what would you like to do?
I look at the screaming form of Lilliput and say, "You've seen better days, Lilliput. And I could do more for you if you were okay with me putting my hands on you. But as you're not, I can only cast Healing Word from afar, my friend. And I cast Healing Word.
Oh my god, the pain. Faustus.
Which gives you 7 plus, so you get 11 health back. And it'd be more if I could have used
Just touch me.
cure wounds. We're not there yet, you said, so.
Oh my god.
And so, but I tell you what I'll do. If you can pass me your cravat, I'll start mending it whilst, we see if this creature comes back.
Dungeon Master, can you tell me some Elvish swear words that you'd be leveling at Falsters right about now?
Don't be ungrateful. I could have healed you not at all.
Very
Very
Can I just put it to the group though at the table? Am I not respecting his wishes by healing him less by not touching him by his request?
You can basically see my organs.
You leave me out of this.
Your consent is being
I'm
respected.
not a part of this.
As my holy glow from a distance, he starts to knit up, your parts, and everything's starting to come together. But I'm just respecting your wishes psychically, mentally.
Falsters. You're such a jerk.
I feel so misunderstood. Now, give me your cravat. I mean, yes.
Go away.
No, but it's in a terrible condition.
Lilliput, don't be ungrateful.
Kid? I can't even right now. Just don't.
I should have left him unhealed. Okay, and what I'll do then, since he won't let me use mending on his cravat, which I thought was a kindness, I will instead ready Sacred Flame. So I use my action to ready Sacred Flame if should the creature reappear.
Okay, holding action.
Holding an action. Yep.
Absolutely. Brings us to the top of the round. So that brings us back to Isabel.
Break into healing.
Key points.
I mean, you said not to touch it.
I need some space right now. Somebody gets shot in the stomach. You said space. It's you. It's you.
So she healed and she'll move further back on the.
Further back.
She doesn't. Does not want to be near the sand when
The
it
middle
over.
of the rocky outcrop that you guys are on.
Yep. And that'll be Isabel's turn.
Isabel's turn. Lollipop.
So a couple of interesting things are going to happen right now. Just because the snake is on the ground actually doesn't mean phantasmal force is dissipated, nor that the armored eagle, which is assailing it, has given up. So that's 1d6 psychic damage.
Go ahead.
That's a 6.
That's 6. Very nice.
Another interesting thing is that the shadowy spider is always going to head for that snake
Oh no.
in the most direct manner.
Oh, I feel bad for that snake now.
So what is the movement on your spider? Is it physical or is it? Let's see.
It says the most direct route, so I don't think it goes through obstacles. I haven't been able to see that just in a scan. It has the stats of a dire wolf. So we could probably say, 30, 40, 100, I don't know.
Well, it begins to try and dig through the sand.
Where is it digging?
The sand is going. The worm's going straight down, and there is no tunnel behind it, as it's burrowed directly through the sand.
And so the spider doesn't look like it's veering off anymore.
No, it looks like it's going to go straight down.
Okay, alright. Guys, it's straight down. I'm going to sit on the rock and drink from my hip flask and recover. What is it? Is it for the thing of the drunkard? I'm going to leverage that. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that thing.
So I'm going to have some cocktails.
You set up like a mini bar.
Yeah. I'll just pour myself on the granny.
The spider continues to dig away. Lilith.
I forgot his name, but she'd still say this.
They're on.
Hey, native!
Jesus!
Whoa!
Whoa!
Does he respond?
He looks over, but it is a cold glare.
What the hell is it doing? Where is it? Is it running away?
Probably. It's going under the sand. It could pop back up, but whatever that thing is digging down seems to want to go straight down.
What would bring it back up?
It thinks it can win. It wants to eat us.
Excellent.
So you did some significant damage to the creature.
I'm gonna run as far away from the main group as possible, and she starts just like jumping up onto the spot.
Alright.
Now, that's movement. So as my action, I will hold a Shadow Blade attack.
Alright, holding. Kits.
Staggering back up onto the rocks, sort of absolutely exhausted looking. Kit will sort of lean back against that little sort of rise in the rock, and pull out, sort of raise up the center of the wrist, and hold a hand to it as a comforting, sweet-smelling smoke surrounds her and anyone within 10 feet, I believe, as she lights her devotee censer. Yeah, so 10 feet. It has no effect at the moment.
Yeah.
It smells lovely.
Yeah, it smells absolutely delightful, I promise.
I guess
Cinnamon buns.
smoke into my cocktail.
Yeah. But otherwise, she will ready herself to basically attack it if it sort of pops up again near us or threatens us.
Shut its damn face.
Couple things happen now because the spider's going after it. It does start to veer off in this direction.
Oh, that direction. She's like, look, it's like,
You do also notice that there are several other large masses approaching from under the sand, as it appears the commotion from your battle have drawn other worms to the surface.
Oh no.
And you can see two other large burrowing shapes making their way towards where the last sort of combat happened. One begins to veer towards Lilith.
she's like none the wiser. Is it like coming from behind me?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
She's like, where are you going? You saw it, see this.
Yeah.
Should we warn
Also,
her?
that's not a charge. Behind you!
I definitely be taking note of whatever swear words Lilith is like screaming out. Bet she's got some good Fae ones.
Yeah.
So
Real undercommon Fae, unsealy Fae. Cool.
this other worm is gone.
Really racist.
It has some really good movement.
Yeah, where does
it's not
this
that,
come
it's not that great when it's underground, but it's enough to get away from the direwolf spider, which is still having to dig. The eagle's still going down after it, which lasts a minute, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm. I think that it'll eventually kill it.
Yeah, eventually.
Because the thing is that it will rationalize.
And it's not smart enough to actually make the check.
Yeah. So it literally just dies from this thing that it fully rationalizes.
And what's your
in the
spell
tunnel with
save?
it.
What's your spell save?
16.
It is 16.
It has to roll a natural 20 to make it. So it's got a -4 to attack.
Yeah, it does.
So good.
We'll say that eventually
The die will
dive under the
spider stuff just stops. It's like, oh.
Does it float to the surface like a dead fish?
but eventually it does die, and I'll give you a chance to think about what you're going to do with the other worms approaching. At least
Patiently wait for it to gobble Lilith up.
At some point, I'm guessing, I don't know where it's died, whether or not it died in its bed,
Yeah.
happy and alone. So got to say goodbye to its kids one last
in
time.
its burrow with its children, yeah.
Many
But the
years
spider
from now.
follows it until it's dead, so The spider.
So it's got 20 hit points left, and it's got what? Like about 7 rounds of combat left of the spider.
Yeah.
Of the phantasmal force.
Yeah.
So unless you roll really
54 damage.
very unlikely to die.
Yeah.
Just to not die.
At some point, the spider just goes, turns, nods.
So there's this little dagger.
So, how many nat 20 saves would you have to roll to live?
Just one, because it ends the spell.
Yeah.
Master.
Just one, so let's roll one to see if it happens or not. No. So, eventually that worm does die. But you do still have the 2 approaching worms that are probably now it's about 60 feet away from Lilith.
We should wait this out. Lilith, what are you doing?
Trying to get the thing that come back. Why is it running away? It's going gutless.
That's a good thing.
No, it's not. I wanted to kill it.
I don't think it's worth your life, Lilith. Please be careful. Come back.
Why? What's it? And she turns around and she's like, "Oh, 2 more!" And she like starts bunny hopping, but back towards the group, still like trying to bring them in.
Does he get a movement penalty for bunny hopping?
Yes.
Well, mobile makes me amazing even with difficult terrain, so I'm probably unaffected.
They're burrowing, so they're not coming
50 feet bunny hop.
ridiculously fast. So even despite Lilith being slightly handicapped by our bunny hopping, still outpacing the approaching lumps under the sand. So
I'll stand like right on the edge and then like do a superhero pose, like pulling the shadow scythe all the way back and sort of like twisting it around and like, rear your ugly little heads, my snaky boys.
Alright. As you get up on the rocks, shortly after, 2 of the giant worms, one of them pops up there, and you can see the other one doesn't sort of surface, actually pops up back here where it sort of sets the last sort of tremors and vibrations, and the other one doesn't really surface. This one looks slightly bigger than the previous one, and it's quite a bit thicker.
It's because you don't have another one.
Yes.
Also, I held my action. Do I attack it now?
You attack this one.
She's like, yes! Just pegs the scythe out of it. That is only a 12, but as it returns, I will peg it again. That misses as well.
Alright, this one seems, even though he's a thick boy, he really sort of dodges.
Bounces off, and then
He
she
feels the vibrations in the...
So Sacred Flame will trigger as well,
Yeah,
and you
go
make
ahead,
a
use Sacred Flame,
dex save 17.
To fail.
Boom, and it takes full damage, 16 points of astral fire damage. Yeah, radiant.
No one else.
Astral fire just careens down from the sky.
Isabel was holding as well, so if you have any kind of range or anything you would like to do, you
I
can...
do have the ability to turn my weapon into range.
Because I feel like we wouldn't know that this isn't the creature from before. Not terribly well. You would, because your spider things are chasing it.
Who's spider?
I mean,
I don't know anything about that spider.
we suddenly have this shadow spider just show up all the time.
What? Yeah, that's weird.
Oh, no,
Yeah, there's that whole one time I've seen it before.
Yeah, the Underdark.
I do have her.
You've seen that spider before?
Where there's Gregor was
So you
there.
dance with an extra
Who?
2, an extra.
There was the fight with the demons. I don't think it's tied to the demons, do you?
Oh, so I'm gonna take some
Could I
dark
do?
side.
Spider.
Go ahead,
Two
roll
dark
your
attacks.
attacks.
Yeesh.
That sounded good.
Yeah.
Math.
17.
13 misses, unfortunately.
I have one
First
more.
attack just hits and closes off the arm of the cowards.
That way. Oh, wait, what was that? Oh, no, yeah.
30, 20.
Hits.
Nice.
Second finds purchase. Kicking in.
9 damage.
9 points of damage.
Good for a dart.
doesn't react too much, but you can see that it has taken a small trickle of blood coming out of that arm, that cut in its iron. It's its turn.
Oh no.
Oh, Kit's turn, technically.
Yes. Just out of cable.
I would like to use my action to reach out and cast Toll the Dead.
Yeah,
Yes.
Fail.
Wonderful. I would hope.
Wise.
Why is it wise?
So rather than reaching out with the bare hands, once again, the sensor swings, creating sort of a large, hollow bell sound as she swings it. And that will be... so 13 points of necrotic damage.
That one doesn't seem to do the same sort of damage as your previous necrotic damage, but it certainly hurts, and you can see that suddenly the thick hide begins to sort of wilt and die as the necrotic damage begins to destroy the flesh. Its turn. It rears back and opens its mouth to spit out some acid from the direction of the darts flew in, which would get Haran, Kit, Lilith, and Isabel. So you guys make dexterity saves for me.
Oh, that doesn't look good.
I'm gonna have a bad day. It's okay.
You look terrified.
I'm getting flashbacks.
Yeah. I don't think you guys enough.
Me?
Well,
you said it wasn't covering me. You said
You have a heart attack, whatever.
I'm seeing the rest. Yeah, maybe wrong last time. Maybe you should be dead.
You say that every week in personal messages to me.
Why is she dead?
I have no idea.
Alright, so 46 points of acid damage, and half will be saved. So
Sorry,
Isabel,
19. What do you got?
23, but
save. So obviously 46, 23 points of acid damage.
23. I got a 19.
23.
I'll absorb it elements to half again.
Alright. No.
oh no.
I'm assuming that Kit collapses under that shade and off. He also fails.
Oh no.
So
Kit crumples where she leans against that that rock
Oh
wall.
no! Kid fell down. She was kind of nice.
you can see
I didn't
that
like her.
Iran doesn't seem to suffer any kind of damage from the thing, as his cut in his arm, which is maybe the height of the creature, seems to absorb most of the acid damage.
Well, it's just like,
He takes. What was it?
I'm kidding. Iran's getting stabbed after this.
Take it that no one will ever notice.
No, because the rest of you guys are going to be down.
And then the water will burrow back into the sand.
Oh,
That's just rude.
Yeah.
Well, that's a bit cheeky.
Iran will make its way up higher up onto the rocks and sort of away from the group a little bit to make a less tempting target. What would Foster's like to do?
seeing Kithis go down just as the worm tunnels back under, I'll run over, slide down, place my hands down, and cast Cure Wounds on her as divine energy thrums through my hands. And that is
Lolliput is jealous.
8, 13.
Someone's getting a terrible performance review.
No, they're talking about. That is for 21 points of healing.
So you come on. It's totally healing.
Kithis, you alright?
So good.
Reach out and sort of grab your
I
forearm.
go to fist bump. And
Yeah. And sort of drag herself slightly up.
Despite the healing, you can see that Vincent of his skin appear to have melted under the barrage of acid. You can still see it's not festering.
Alright is one word for it.
we'll get that looked at when we survive this and get to the village. I guess I'll use a little bit more movement to get more towards. I don't think I'd have enough movement to get to the far side to sort of take cover down the side there, would I? No, down the
You
far
guys
side.
get to there.
Okay, that's what I'll do.
You weren't too far.
Yeah, because I'm thinking like, well, it's not going to come looking over there because I'm not in the sand and I don't want to get acid on me. Unlike everybody else who just seems to be like, hey, acid, come and get me.
Part of her arm to them was, I think there are 3 of them. Unless the injured one is this one arm and come back up. We can't kill 3.
Watch me.
So we're back to Isabel.
Okay, Isabel is gonna. She's gonna heal. Hang on, do I have anything for healing? You're still down, right?
No, I'm not.
Oh, you're. Who's
He didn't get it.
No, he's down.
No, he's down. It was down.
It was.
who's the most hurt right now?
My heart's really sore.
Shut up.
Because
Jesus. Yes. Yes.
You've successfully brought that out.
Lollipop supports this.
I'm super hurt. Heal me.
I'm stable.
Stable.
She like shows like some
Physically
of
or
the like acid
emotionally?
marks and
Definitely not
She's
emotionally.
like, see, broken.
Are you?
As it is, Kit is ever so slightly melty.
Isabel will toss Kit a greater healing potion.
I will do my best to catch it. It depends on whether it kind of slips and slides. But yes.
This smashes into her eyeball. She takes all the damage she does.
Giving flashbacks to Gregory.
Who's this Gregor guy you keep talking about? Sounds like a real jerk.
Wait, so that's her action. She will heal quickly,
Thanks, Isabel.
and then she will move farther back. She does not want acid
It's
anymore.
nice and spread out on the rock now by the look of things. It is Lollipop's turn.
So none of these snakes are above ground at the moment?
You see one is just sort of wandering around under the sand, and one's just burrowed back down, and you can see no sign.
Alright, well, Lollipop is going to cast Melf's Minute Meteors. So, a small little string of portals
This could be the other one just floating around.
open up behind Lollipop, and a ring of tiny flaming meteors cascade into reality,
Yep.
slowly kind of rotating, and he's going to then use the rest of his turn to get behind cover on. I can't see what's on the other side of that rocky embankment from where I am. I hope there's like a little bit of rock ledge. I'll be able to get a bit, some small cover there
Yep.
without getting in the sand.
You can sort of get down under here, or clear here.
You definitely want to kind of move less where the snakes were.
Let's say that you can get. We'll go here. This little arrow. Push it there.
I mean, that seems closer to where the
No,
snake.
but I just because I can't push it.
Okay, sure.
There. Well, you need to keep your under here. Sort of there.
I got cover.
How do you feel about acid?
See?
I am
That's
pretty
what
acid.
in that little arrow.
Right now, like my beautiful, colourful cloak dissolved.
Yeah.
My clean white linen shirt gone ski. There's a light skerrick of a cravat around me, and just tattered brown pants.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm just trying not to think about sunburn right now.
That's Lilith.
It's nighttime.
So looking at the damage on her thing and looking at some of the magical energy that she's got, she turns to Aran and it's just like, how do we make them stay above ground, or are they just going to be annoying like this?
No, they're ambush creatures. They can come up, grab what they want, and take it under.
Well, then what do we do to get the hell out of here and not have to deal with them?
We stay silent on the rock, they will eventually go away.
Well,
Sense vibrations.
be bait.
Last time we just waited them out.
I'd very much like to get the big one at least.
You hang its head on the wall or something, Lilith.
Maybe you to try it for weeks. Provide armor and weapons if we can get it out.
So there is upside.
Weapons, Lilith.
I do like your weapons, Mr. Aranza. They seem to be quite good. I could definitely fashion a few daggers out of it. Alright then. Where did the big one go? So I'm just going to kind of look around a little bit.
Very respectful.
Make a perception check for me.
10.
No. Your link to the spider hasn't technically disappeared yet. So you can still sense that the spider's chasing something. It's not too far away, but you'll know when that spell fades.
Okay.
So it's still technically there.
Alright, well, Lilliput had the right of it, and I just jump out onto the sand and start stamping around.
How'd it go?
Alright.
This is a terrible idea.
Around there.
This begins to sort of look this way. This is the one that's underground.
Is that Big Jim?
Who knows?
So Big Jim, where are you? And I'm gonna hold my action.
Alright. Brings us to Kit.
Yeah, I'll hold to attack.
Feeling very sorry for herself. So there isn't much. There isn't much I can do right now. But I'll stand ready. Kit will move slightly further away from everyone, as that seems to be the way to go, given its acid attacks are kind of clustered.
Yep.
And she will actually, sorry, just so Falstus, you moved away. Is at the start of my turn, was Lilliput still within 10 feet?
Of you?
Yes.
I think.
At the start of your turn,
Yeah.
you were here, yes.
Yeah. So we will both regain 1d4. Doing 2 shot. So that's another 2. As
Did you get 2 as well?
yes,
Twosies.
besties.
Not a matching roll
Two
today.
buddies.
Besties. And that's as that smoke curls around you and brings with it just that hint of a loving embrace and a touch of comfort.
Smells like cinnamon.
The spiritual weapon will move as close as possible. It's got a 20-foot movement to where, basically, the closest to wherever she can see disturbance in the sand. Yeah, you did steal my spiritual weapon.
No, this goes away.
And she will also actually, no, that will be it. She'll ready herself to attack if anything comes up.
So it is now the first worm's turn, and you do see just off in the distance a worm breach the surface, then fall down and die.
Oh no.
What does that sound like?
First one. There's no sound. No, just making sure that spiritual weapon isn't
They scream in Welsh.
It's the Wilhelm scream.
Okay. And you do see that, because it's their turn as well, the other two worms do surface and start heading directly over in that direction. And they start feasting on his corpse.
Uh-oh.
Cannibals.
Lilith, they're above ground.
So you can shoot your held attacks and things if you would like. How far away is it from? Well, they're on the move and they only got 30 feet, but they're dashing, so you have time to.
They have surfaced for that though. Yeah. Okay. So they look like they're drawn to.
Yeah.
I'll peg the shadow thing at them.
Go for it.
17. Yes, it is. 25.
Hits.
Uh, 13 psychic damage. Second attack.
Misses. So while they're busy feasting, it becomes Force's turn.
So I can now see two of these worms feasting.
Feasting on the corpse of the first one.
Fantastic. So I'm going to sort of pop my head up over the rock, pull out my divine focus, my Technoman looking crystal, and I will use Twin Spell and cast 3rd level Guiding Bolt, one at each of them. So the first one is a 22 to hit.
That one hits.
And does 6, 9, 12, 13 damage. And the second
Yep.
Is 16 to hit.
This is unfortunate. As that drop bolt of radiant energy goes wide on the second strike.
And
The one you hit does rear up and turn its head back towards the group.
and with my bonus action, I will burn the number of sorcery points I need to burn to recover a 3rd level slot. And I will end my turn.
Excellent. Now, do we want to take a break? It's 8:45, and it's the top of a round. Would you like to take a break, or would you want to keep going?
Yeah, I'm happy with that.
Yeah, so I'll go break.
Have a break, yeah. Alright, top of a combat round, so we're going to take a short break, and we'll be back in about 10 minutes. So stick around, come back and see how this pans out for the group attacking 2 more worms. And we will see you very soon.
I think you two should get out of here.
It's a natural 9 and 7, so they both fail.
They're both frightened of me.
Yep, you're.
And
you're
as my
not
action, I
terrified.
am telling them to fire.
Yep. So. Friday somewhere, I think. And they will have to run away.
We still get the XP for that, right?
Why didn't you just do that at the start? So, so the fight can happen.
So I can stab something. Obviously.
They run the hell away. Because technically, well, the kid gets a turn in between, so. Because they go on your turn first, don't they? And then on their turn.
It's traditionally been mine than theirs.
Yeah. No, I mean, if they're frightened on their turn.
On their turn, I have to move away.
Yeah.
So you still got your turn to do what you would like to do to them.
I've just sort of like turned my head to you, like tilted almost very disgustingly, and I'm just like, but you don't see the mouth speak, there's only a mental sort of thing of, let them run.
Why not both? Just as a tabletop question, with frightened, or with the spell, does it end if they take damage, or yeah, okay. After a moment, you know, you're the last person I would think to watch them run away, but okay.
I do sort of respond to that, and I'm taking a crouching sort of like portraits from the Doom Part 2 sort of thing, and sort of still keeping that Cheshire sort of like grin to you. I'm now just like a silhouette of black, as if like all light has disappeared, but you can just see the wisps of energy and the smiling sort of face in the middle, and I'm just like, has they proven to be boring? They bore me now, so they can go. They live today, but only because I will it.
Adding this to my list of reasons to be scared shitless by Lilith.
Is it magical darkness that you're surrounded by?
Yes. The terrifying visage is whatever terrifies things. So.
But it's you are terrifying them.
Yeah, so it's not affecting you guys.
Yeah.
No. But
It looks unnerving, but yeah, the visage is obviously not in a form that affects you guys.
No. But I'm just curious because Lollipop can see through magical darkness.
So it's just Lilith being like,
Yeah, and she's just in the middle, like. But still, the Cheshire grin is definitely a projection. Like that is a physical change on her face. Like the skin is split up through the cheek, and like it's just a more like serrated teeth.
Yeah. She's got too many teeth.
yeah,
Way too many teeth.
that is a
Sharks
hilarious
have
mental image,
less.
though.
Sharks have less teeth than she
Yeah.
does.
Yes, but do you rotate yours on a regular basis?
Sometimes.
She's often known in many taverns as the Sarlacc.
So the hand that was held up, sort of the sensor wrapped around her wrist, that kind of basked in this glow of, so this like a purple glow, but with flickers of sort of this sickly greenish black kind of sparking through it, slowly fades as she decides not to attack, but Kit will hold her action to cast Toll the Dead if they do turn around and come back towards us.
Absolutely. So that should be a minute that they're running away for. That gives us what? 3. They're above ground, so they've got more movement. And they make their save every round. Oh, a couple of things. That's not going to do it. That's not going to do it. That might do it. A 16?
16 does. So
What is it? Wisdom?
Wisdom.
Yeah, so 16 will save. So it was about 8th round. got pretty much a minute before it wears off. As they continue to bolt. And they're not very clever, so I'm not very good at what we said earlier about D100s and all D100s. That's not very good. They are not really intelligent enough to realise that they're not scared anymore, and they do not return.
They just keep
They just
moving
keep
on.
on going and they move on. They've had their fill, and they just keep on going into the desert.
Da, boss, were we scared?
So my
No, mate, no.
goes away and I just come back onto the rock and sit down. I'm just like, there's a corpse.
You go out of initiative. I'll leave that out in a second. We need that, right? Because it was surviving. And
Also.
Aran goes down and pulls out some tools off his belt and begins expertly slicing up the corpse and obtaining some carapace pieces and some plates of.
Get me some of that chitin armor to make some daggers.
He does go and extract the venom gland or the poison gland, right? And also the teeth, and puts them in a bag, chucks it over his back, and the carapace pieces are quite large, so he sort of ties them all together in a little bit of rope and begins handing out bits of carapace to everyone to carry.
Yay!
And we will assess how much you got a bit later.
Woo, manual labour.
At least we can do
In
it.
case maybe decides it was to fight some other monsters.
That depends. Are you throwing other monsters out?
There's a sand kraken.
No, a swarm of sand krakens. Thank you very much.
We confirmed this on our character that
Yeah.
there is a swarm of sand krakens.
The only thing that is illegible for a swarm is the final boss,
Yes.
because I'm not painting 10 of them.
Yeah.
Oh, he's got little images.
Okay, if you print me 9 tiny ones, we can make a deal.
Do that. Alright. We've gone out of combat. What would you like to do now? It is early evening, but it's just sort of going dark as you were attacked. So there's still a little bit of light in the western horizon, but the sun is definitely going down.
I don't know about anybody else, but I need to get some clothes on me before the sun comes up. Otherwise, I am going to combust. I've lost at least a layer of my epidermis here, possibly more.
You'll live.
Honestly, I'm with him on this one.
Getting more clothes on. Or you
Yes.
explode.
Yes.
Us dark elves have very sensitive skin.
Where are your clothes?
In the night.
Where are the clothes?
Oh, I don't know, maybe that puddle over there? That's what happens when you get hit by acid. Organic stuff tends to melt.
Yeah, but do you have more or we need to go find some?
I need to find some.
Excellent. Can we just stay here for the night?
I've got some spare clothes in my traveling bag.
Oh.
No.
No,
really need to holster
thank
something.
you, Faustus.
Faustus, I would love some, thank you.
Give it to Kip, but not like, I want to see him explode.
So I'll get out my. It happens to be my more formal sort of clothes for when I'm more in city. I'm wearing my adventurer travel clothes at the moment, but they're probably fancier than maybe the Lingiari around here are used to. But maybe at least keep you warm.
Do they have some any symbols stitched onto them?
Yeah. I mean, if yeah, because I think part of there's sort of like a slight vestment to one of them, but you don't have to wear that. That's more like.
I will graciously hand that one back.
I'll just give, you just take what you want.
Yep.
You know, so there's like a really nice shirt in there. It happens to be white. It's been well kept, and there's some black pants.
Yep. So I'll do my best to sort of step aside and kind of very, very gingerly try and get some sand and clean off the slightly less abraded parts of myself so far, and use water on those parts that would abrade further. And
So
you
it's
are
been a
quite
few
slim,
minutes
aren't you?
Recovering from his injuries and washing
But
off
I'm tall as well. So
yeah, no,
acid
the shirt is straining at the shoulders.
and negative Lilliput running around in the desert.
Are we short resting? Do we have to take a short rest?
Lilliput is still out,
Yep.
hiding in the
love
rocks, cowering.
Come here. Zuri, come here.
We'll do
You're
a short
okay.
rest, Steve.
You're safe.
we have a priest and a cleric. Does anyone require additional healing?
Me, please, Falsters.
This probably my maximum power will require me to put my hands on you. Is that okay?
Yes, Falsters. Please put your hands on me to
I'll
help.
look at you two, asking for consent and everything.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now you're sure.
How far we've come.
Why is there this passive aggression from you as I'm sort of tending your wounds? Got some traditional bandages, getting ready to cast my spell.
And you know why, Falsters? Because every time I think I'm willing just to let bygones be bygones, you go and do something so obnoxiously Falsters, you just drag me right back to being angry with you.
That's not a thing. There's no such thing as being obnoxiously fastest. As I, sort of pull a bandage just a little bit really too tight around one of your things. Did you need healing as well?
I could be a lot better right now,
Do you need healing?
but I can deal for now.
Well, it's just, because as I'm sort of getting ready to channel my spell, I offer to give you some healing at the same time because I can twin spell it if you come in range.
It would be appreciated.
Okay, so pull the bandage tight. My hands glow with divine energy as I cast Cure Wounds on both of you. I'll do 3. They are terrible rolls. Wow. I will re-roll 1 using Empowered Healing, and that's slightly better. So that's 10, 13, 17 for one of you, and
Which one is the question?
that can be Lilliput. And then, funnily enough, oh no, that's slightly more. 10, 14, 18. 18 for Kithis. Well, it's because you're fractionally less salty with me most of the time.
Thank you, Falsters.
What did you do when you were? Because everyone's way saltier with Faustus than ever.
I thought you were a character then asking Lilith. I'm like, okay, yeah, let's see what I'm coming up with. Oh no, you're asking Andy.
Oh, you
did
missed
I do?
some magical moments.
What did I do?
Nobody's making eye contact with Falsters.
Cast this.
If it helps, my saltiness has nothing to do
shunned.
with Falstus's astounding dramatic performance in the time where you were indisposed.
Yes. Good. Just more to do with who I worship.
Certain revelations, some certain horrifying scenes that I witnessed effectively firsthand.
Yes. Yeah. So you are now more healed.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome. Now, can I have a look at that cravat?
As I kind of go to take it off, it tears into 2 pieces. There you go.
Thank you. I mean, you could say thank you as I cast or begin to cast mending over a minute.
I mean, not for nothing. Once you fix it, I would have said thank you. Now it kind of feels a bit forced.
It's still polite to say thank you.
At which point?
Any
He
point.
hasn't done it. And
He's doing
non-stop.
it right now.
And when he's done, I'll say thank you.
Look, all I'm saying is that if it comes to the point where we're in a fight and you two start squabbling, I will knock both of your heads together until you cooperate.
Listen, kid. We're besties. I feel I can be honest with you. This matter, you need to back away. Seriously. We just had an incident where I was melted by acid and he refused to heal me.
Not how it happened.
He abided by your wishes.
Come
Good
on.
kid.
Come on. There's reasonable and then there's reasonable. There's not wanting to be touched, and then there's somebody who is literally about to die who's being refused treatment because of a grudge.
Oh, he definitely has a grudge against you.
Clearly, right?
He hates you.
Lilith, I missed you.
Your logic is astounding, Lilith. But here's your cravat.
Thank you so much, Faustus, for doing that. I look at the kid. I really appreciate that.
That sounded so patronizing.
Can I roll to kick him in the ankle?
So as you this short rest is passing, night has definitely set, and the temperature drops significantly.
Throw sand it.
What did you get?
A 3.
It's cold.
It's a very cold desert night.
Why is it so cold now? What the hell is wrong in the nine hells is wrong with your plane of existence? It's absolutely disgusting. I reckon the temperature should be a bazillion degrees that way and a bazillion degrees this way in the space of a couple hours.
Around how far is it to the camp?
It's just like,
How long you traveled for?
it wasn't long.
It was not long.
No, it
You
wasn't.
should be able to
It
arrive
was only a couple of hours.
by morning.
Okay, let's go. Let's go.
Keep
Maybe the
moving.
movement will
Can
keep
you write it down?
Yeah.
Can you write it down?
0.
Session 21 and 22 are not in this network pattern. Brilliant.
So half an hour? Whispery? Okay, cool.
We'll be there by morning, so back to camp. If we travel well, quickly.
No sandworms slash other creatures in the night, perhaps.
Please
I
let
think
there
the
be no
country here will
sandworms.
likely feast on that corpse before moving on. So I think you've probably bought a little bit of time and you kind of pursuit from worms.
Well, then we should probably get going as I push past Aaron and pickpocket him at the same time.
Go ahead and roll your sleight of hand for me.
How do the Lingari people feel about theft?
Natural
It'll be
19.
about to
Bro,
find.
26.
I was hoping that was a
Ooh,
one.
we got it.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about. Nobody saw nothing. I take another single card from his deck of playing cards.
Put an additional one in.
Huh?
Put an additional one in from the wrong deck.
Just
From the one I took from Harry's deck. I'll switch them out.
There's ever so slightly different fonts, and that's about it.
He just like looks at it and goes, "This isn't the playing card from my deck anymore." It's a completely different size. It's like
It has a
little
lot of racial slurs on it.
Okay, on that note, yes, I do have to ask. You keep on going on about this racist tavern. Was that literally only because she was in it?
Wait, which tavern?
Okay.
I'm not racist.
Because she was in it. No.
Yes, a small fire, like a small stick, wooden stick that's charred at one end. You see the little engravings and carvings of fire.
Yeah, that's the doctor.
So get this. We go into this tavern. And who's sitting there? The man. And when I say the man, it's a lady. A lady who refuses me service based, I can only assume, because Lilith has achieved great service on the color of my skin and my lineage.
Let's just go like this.
Right?
Okay, and were you as polite to her as you were to Faustus earlier?
More. More even.
He was actually a complete gentleman. To Faustus, he treats like pile of garbage. But I mean, that's fair.
I think not.
How have you not managed to stab each other by now?
Well-
You accepted because the stories I've
I'm
heard.
sure Lilith's blades have been flying in the dark. They just haven't hit us yet.
I do practice my knife throwing at night. Near the camp.
You did do nerf throwing, darling. I think at the was the crippled griffin. Yes.
I got matches.
Yes.
Hit a few people. Intentionally.
Look, it's like all great comrades and adventurers in this realm. It's complicated.
It's not really complicated. I mean, if you want to get right to it, you probed into my mind
Yes, I did.
when I didn't want you to.
That's fine.
It's not. It is completely not fine.
End of the world. You might have been possessed by the spirit, the deity of a mad cult. From my perspective, we had to know, Lollipop. Is that what you're so upset about?
Yes. Yes.
Just be.
Yes, it is Falstus.
Well-
I said no, and you did it anyway.
I didn't give you a choice. I didn't ask.
That's entirely the point.
Sure.
And I did,
I regret nothing.
and I regret that the most.
That's fine.
Snap.
That is fine. In the waters of life, these things will flow. Night will become day. Things will turn. Sometimes what you have to
Falstus,
do
you're
is
being
just what needs to be done.
A real Falstus right now, and I just...
You're falsing it all up.
Oh my gosh.
I'm so glad that that's a verb now.
I am sorry that it hurt your feelings,
Falstus?
but that is all. I would do it again in a second. To any of you.
Oh, he's done it to me. And I'll let him in any time you want.
And I will pass every single time.
Falstus, I'm really trying to be the bigger elf right now.
I find that hard to believe.
And I just want you to know,
Yes?
and I want you all to know, you especially, Kit, because you seem to be under some false pretense that I harbour some unjustified grudge against Falstus. I forgive Falstus. I have.
Thank you.
I forgive him, but I do not forgive what he did to me. And that will not change. So if you might feel a little bit of tension here or there, if you might wonder why I don't want him sneaking up on me and touching me, that might be why.
I see no problem with that. But as it stands, you do realize that the continued animosity and sniping really does hinder any chance we have of making this out alive. I don't need you to forgive him. Simply work with him as you would otherwise. And, you know, forgive me for being preachy here. But something about in the name of redemption? Because, frankly, I would like to make it out of this alive. And I would wager so do you as well. And if I can't trust either of you to have each other's backs, then what am I doing here?
What are you doing here?
I have his back.
From, what, 5 feet away?
Oh,
Yes.
I have a great idea. How about we settle this like, what's the terminology you guys call in human cities? Like men. You guys take all your stuff off. I'll throw a dagger into the middle.
He's already mostly naked.
I'm not a
But
human!
He's ready to go.
He's not a human!
Well, settle this like elven men.
What does that even
I
mean?
believe the politically correct term is males.
Is it thumb wars?
Uh,
Thumb
could be,
wars?
it
I
could,
don't know, with the amount of sexual tension between the two of you, it's probably something else.
What?
Who would be the top?
I'm leaving you all to this.
Yeah, he's just like the
I thought she was twisted before.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, but I just don't get where it's coming from.
No. There was just that one incident where you disguised yourself as me and rubbed yourself up against many women, but that was a completely different thing.
Yeah. Clearly.
Yes, that has nothing to do with the sexual tension at all.
Clearly.
My faith in my continued existence is still plummeting, just so you know.
I mean,
Yes, stick by me and you'll live.
let's just say, Falsus has got a good rep in that town, and it's thanks to yours truly here. Any establishment of the night that he chooses to go into, they'll know he's into some pretty wild stuff. And that took me hard effort to do.
I'm sure
I had
it
to
was.
work at that. Hard.
Yes, I've seen you working. It was hard.
Right? Did I get a thanks?
Did I just say that?
Did I get a thanks, kid? No.
I wasn't there.
Exactly.
What did you ask me?
That's what I'm telling you.
I was not.
It's a rhetorical question. It's how rhetorical questions work.
Okay, can I
needed to
fill
illustrate a
you in?
point
We were at
of-
the time trying to kind of lay low, and Lilliput's version of laying low was going to spell slots, I believe, the name of the establishment, disguising himself
yes.
as me, and then basically getting rambunctious with everybody in there. Like it,
Oh.
He was getting you a social life.
which.
Was he giving him a social life without his permission, though? He didn't even ask.
And we're still moving quickly
Almost like
through the desert.
probing didn't
Damn.
ask.
Yeah, they're definitely the same
Actually,
things.
yes. Did you ask consent to use Falsus's body in that way?
How did that make you
It was
feel?
my body. It was
How did that
Falsus's
make you
image.
feel, Falsus?
Yeah. His body. You don't want the shape and the form of his
Were you
body.
ashamed?
Very
Did you feel converted?
Are they?
There was a clear. If you were trying to.
space.
If you were trying to make
Very
an
much
analogy
depicted on
between
my
these two
portrait.
things, that you
I
think
can
that
touch a
me,
picture of
with
somebody.
the possibility
Or
of
I
the
can
fate
touch
of
the
all
person
existence on one
themselves.
hand, and
Yes,
the
but
mindset
one
of
way
one
and the
Lilliput
other.
Fenway on one side,
Other get
versus
paint on my fingers.
him for an act of recreation, pretending to be myself on a dance
Off your
floor,
one hand.
Yes.
whilst we are running
Though
from an
spell slots.
imperium.
Yeah.
I feel like everything was.
These things aren't
Moist.
all equivalent.
Well, it sounds like at the core of it is the same. He did something like
One has real stakes.
They both do. You just said that he was not making us incognito.
That was a consequence, not a reason for doing it. A consequence of his actions. I am not apologetic for my actions because they are rational. They make sense.
You
I
don't
understand-
seek an apology from him.
No. Like it's the only thing that I feel apologetic for at any level is that it hurt his
Can't even
feelings.
stoke the fire.
It would
between you
never
two
have
correctly.
considered to me with the fate of existence hanging in
See,
the balance.
You guys just want to do each other. That's all it is. Because now you're both ganging up on me, and all I'm trying to do is pit you against him.
So I'm gonna get a little bit Professor X here as I'm walking, and I put a finger up on my thing here, and I'm like, do I need to peer inside your mind and see why you are preoccupied with the nature of mine and Lilliput's relationship? Is there something we should know, Lilith? Do you seek a prince for your throne?
Prince, please.
Hmm?
Princess more like, but never mind.
One light, one dark. What would you like? Is this what's going on here? You can't decide. Cookies and
That
cream.
noise.
You,
She doesn't strike me as the kind to settle for just one, to be fair.
And that is what I'm suggesting. All of this preoccupation, this suggestion of sexual tension between us. I put it to you all. Exhibit A. Lilith is the one who is producing all of this.
probably.
Okay, but
Oh, you caught me. Now what are you going to do? Ravish me?
Never. It's just good to have you back. But don't touch me. As my skin crawls.
I wanted to touch you. I would have touched you.
We do manage to arrive unscathed at the Lingiari village.
Does Iran have a take on all of this bickering on the way back?
One into it. You just say just to be slightly
What is this?
far enough away that he doesn't have to hear the conversation.
Iran! What are you doing? Lollipop just said this. What do you think?
And he never came back to the village.
I'm sorry, I don't speak common.
Ever. Mir sprechen Sie Deutsch.
at least by the end of the trip, I feel slightly more confident in being able to stride a little further ahead without these two stabbing each other. So I can stop being in the middle of two bickering elves.
Is there anything you'd like to do when you get to the village?
I roll to continue bickering.
Proceed to have a fight around here.
And then.
Will you tell Falsters
You can go kit yourself because I'm off. I'm going to find somewhere to get the rest of this off me. Go find some clothes, and I'm going to rest.
I will go and talk to the Lingiari people. There was to try and see if should our call to the followers of Lilith fall through, aka the Lothenway, sort of rescue party, doesn't come through. Is there a way for us to procure faster travel, to where we need to go with the Lingiari people at all?
No, the only method of transport are the creatures that you have.
Mm-hmm.
Or you could trade them in at the outpost at Crawley for something else. Or they'll lead you there, and you can probably obtain horses or something of the like there. But I don't have anything quicker though. We'll get to the Lothenway situation shortly. As Setting Stone has recovered.
Oh, great.
Overnight.
Excellent. So, priorities for Lolliput is checking on, I think, Chester, which was his camel.
Yeah, Chester's welfare. All the camels are in good shape.
Good.
They have not been released or eaten or anything like that. So, they're very well cared for. They seem very happy on the living.
So, can I be contacted through this sending stone, or is only... And I haven't heard anything from Mother Dearest?
No, but about now, because it's overnight anniversary charge, as the sun comes up, and it takes an hour in the morning, because you are aware your mother's not necessarily an early riser, which doesn't need to be.
Yeah,
You receive a message that, through the sun sending stone, that tells you to, where's it gone?
Probably hasn't had a coffee yet.
No, she hasn't had a coffee. Late. The war continues. Have secured transport. Find a tree.
Look around.
Concern.
Eldora will contact you, and you recognize that name as a druid in service to the Lothenway family.
Okay. Tree.
Where are you?
Hi, Mummy. I am Lingiari Village, South Colia. XOXO.
Like a thing.
Yeah, pretty sure. Alright. There's no response because can't be response. But she is confident that she might know where that is. She has a pretty good intelligence network. And, or at least, where the desert is and where those people live might be found. And you know that you need to go and find a tree of some sort.
Tree.
So what do we do once we find this tree, Lilliput?
I think I'm gonna lay hands on it and hope to hear the dulcet tones of Eldora. It's a druid.
Okay. Yes. And
Tree.
by just saying any random tree, this druid is going to know how to find us.
I mean, let's hope so, because that would make things a lot easier. Sorry, you. I'm sorry, we've been in the desert a bit. What was your name again?
Are you going to go around or someone, just anyone else?
No, just somebody walking by.
Daron.
Oh,
Daron.
g'day, Darren. How's it going?
Daron.
Darren.
So I'm looking for a tree. Yeah, I know, but I thought desert. A bush, is that a tree? It's kind of a tree-ish. Do you have any bushes?
There's some brush in the desert. I'm sure you would have seen some. But
Here?
as far as a tree or anything big, you have to head a bit further north. The tail end of the forest to the northwest.
Okay.
Edge of the desert.
Northwest.
Bit of travel.
That's good to know. These brushes you spoke of, where would one find them perchance?
There's some not too far from here.
Like,
Not very deep though.
okay. Also, Darren, I need some clothes.
Yes, I see that.
Where might I barter for said clothes?
Oh, I'm sure in the central clearing there, someone there might be able to secure you something to wear. What do we have to trade?
Money.
Dignity.
No, I lost that long ago. Thanks as well.
Imperial money here.
Ah,
Simple people live off the land.
I know something worth its weight in gold. Well, more so actually, I hope, because it weighs nothing. Something priceless, yet ephemeral. Something grand and mysterious, yet unobtainable. What do you think I might get for something as precious as a tail? I do flourishes with my hand.
If you can entertain the clan around the fire tonight, I'm sure someone will reward you with a gift.
Great. Let's book it. You are now my agent.
Alright, you can talk with the fire.
There's a bush near there as well. I just don't want to head out of. I don't want to head out of the village if I can help it.
No, there's
No bushes?
trees
Right.
or bushes or anything out there.
Daza, mate. I like you. We're going places. All right, so let's talk. You'll haggle me a good rate.
You got some clothes, isn't that great?
Yeah, but good clothes.
Good desert clothes.
Oh, I mean, reach for the stars. You get 10%.
You don't leave the desert though.
Whatever I get, you get 10% of.
Like you have to your clothes.
If yeah,
Alright.
Just like the joints now.
The cravat, just ready to cravat.
for you, I'll pay you a cravat up front.
Oh, I love that.
But just think about it. That's a signing bonus. The better clothes you get me, the better 10% you get.
We'll see what we can do. And one is off to find you some clothes.
Excellent. Excellent.
What story are you going to tell?
Is anyone else? Would anyone else like to do anything in the village? There's not a lot there. You know that much from your previous trip. Well, Lilith has never been there before.
Isabel's kind of sticking with the boat, making sure she doesn't do anything.
Good luck.
Well, about that, I'm going to sneak away from this.
Go ahead and roll a stealth check. You know, a perception check.
Well,
And
it
yes, I
passes
will
with
also.
17, so I'm supposed to.
You're all pretty good. You have some books to read if you would like.
I do. But priorities.
Insight?
No, not insight. What's it? Perception?
Perception.
Perception, it's only.
2.
Okay,
Two.
you get
I
away.
already did. So Lilith just goes off.
God damn it.
I will find like maybe a rocky outcrop or something that oversees like village and
There are a few about because they have looking posts for
scale up a bit and take a seat. And she just like watches. It's still nighttime, right? Yeah.
Oh, it's sort of coming today. It's sort of early morning.
Sees the horizon and she's like,
While looking at that horizon, you notice that the sun appears to be slightly misshaped this morning. And as you're watching, as you're doing that, you notice that it's not because the sun's misshaped, it's because there are two suns that are slightly off center from each other. And you can see the glow of the second one from behind. It is sort of a little type shape.
She smutters under her breath.
And you can feel the heat beginning to really rise very quickly.
Interesting. She's right about the alignment speed. And I'll just pull out the eye of Mister and kind of like dangle it, sort of spin it around my hand a little bit and catch it.
Every time it spins, I flips to that same, looking in that same direction. So, he's really trying to catch it out, but it will always look in that northwesterly direction.
From her other pocket, she pulls out a stone that looks very similar to the Lilith's one, and holds it for a second, and puts both things away. She like looks down at the party moving around in the village. What is your end game? She just sits there for a little bit.
So Kit has a few priorities. The first one is washing the residual sting off her skin.
They do offer you some water pouches and jugs of water to do that.
Yep. And then she will make her way back towards the center of the camp and try and flag down any of those that she recognizes from when they had the audience with the elder.
Okay. So I can get their names for you. It's easy enough to find. It just takes a few minutes looking around and you find them all.
Just anyone who sort of had that connection to the elder. And I ask two things. One is that if their generosity could extend slightly further, sort of gesture to the ill-fitting clothes that Kit is very close to kind of bursting out of at this point. So some replacement clothing to make the trip back, if they have any to spare.
So you do find Elder Amino, and by now Iran has sort of delivered the bits and pieces of carapace, and they are very thankful and offer you access to any clothing that you would like. They try a few different things, but they eventually find something that will fit nicely.
So
cool cotton.
Anything that provides movement, probably a cloak given the chill of the evening. Any sort of men's clothes will do just fine. And the other thing is that she requests an audience with the elder so she may share what she learned on their trip.
Absolutely. She is more than willing to have a chat with you because you are the first people to return from the ruins without any kind of without any ill effects. She will definitely sit down with you and chat. Now, where would you like to start?
I will leave out anything that isn't super obvious that there are gaps in the story about Lilith. But I'll recount our journey. So there, with the Sandworms very briefly, because I'm sure that she's already received a report on that. And then, so from the time that we entered the temple, the undead, I'll describe what we found in regards to the statues and the other sort of interlopers that we found as well. Describe the very large sort of undead spectre that we saw, and that it seemed to be a guardian that may be sort of what was the cause of those that entered, falling sort of terrible fates.
She also makes that connection, and that is some sort of spirit of death that is sort of preying on anyone that wanders into the ruins. Absolutely.
And from what I recall, they had a distinct reverence for the Redeemer as well, didn't they?
Yes.
So I will also share Anything that isn't, I guess, intimate knowledge that was shared with me of the Redeemer's tale and what happened.
Yeah.
And sort of those involved in terms of both the gods and sort of the trials we faced.
All right. So, are you doing this alone, or is the party with you?
So I struck out alone.
You did.
Because, well, apparently entertaining.
I'm definitely getting
Checking how many camels we still have.
Yep. Disappeared into the night, babysitting unsuccessfully.
Just walking around with a hand out.
Okay, so you managed to convey that information, leaving out anything sort of sensitive for you feel. And she takes it in stride, but she's clearly taken aback by some of the revelations, particularly some of the names of the gods that are involved. Particularly the mention of where am I? To Asmodeus, and the idea that the gods, the triumvirate of gods, found a way to siphon power between gods, and that, you know, she admits to that being something that was, you know, a likely cause of the war and the rift between the gods, but also of a serious concern in the long-term viability and the power of the gods and what kind of balance that would bring to the world. And then the mention of using the primordial void as a battery to power themselves is something that she almost has a stroke over, in that knowing that tapping into powers of that magnitude are likely to end in disaster in the long term. She conveys as much.
Yeah.
And she tells you a brief story among her people of how the alignment, being a convergence of worlds, weakens all barriers. So it's likely that any kind of imprisonment that they're using for Vorothos or any other entities is likely to be extremely weak in the duration and at the apex of the alignment. And if something is going to happen, it is likely going to happen at that particular moment.
Yeah. It lines up with everything that we've sort of discovered and heard thus far.
She also adds that they do also have a legend of what happened after the events that you had in your vision, and that an avatar of vengeance swept the land, sweeping all of its enemies before it. And based on what you see, you link that with the idea of the Redeemer's vengeance against the gods, which is concerning on several levels.
Yes. And by their enemies, who were those enemies? Did they include just the followers of the gods, or how much collateral was there?
There was significant collateral, and you, based off the story she tells you, you know that, sorry, I'm being cryptic because no one else knows any of this information. The vision that you had while reading the journal of the standing army and floating city, there was in essence, that city crashed into the surface based off the expulsion of huge amounts of divine energy by the Redeemer, and it killed basically the entire city. That's where the ruins of Alpine came from.
Yeah.
And then she went on a warpath north to the Heart Tree.
All very comforting. Well, I won't say I'm not disquieted by all of this.
Yeah.
Or, more disquieted than I already was. But I suppose we're faced with enough that...
Again, there are priorities. We'll deal with what we can as we can. I thank her generously for all of her time. And, hope that at some point in the future we will be able to speak with each other again after the events and, so we can share what has happened and bring more of this into the world.
It would be a worthy tale to tell. Provided we all live through what is to come. The Weaver be with you.
And also with you.
Respectfully.
And you too.
And you.
Ditto.
And you.
Yeah.
She just walked out.
Would anyone else like to do anything in town?
Isabella's still looking for her.
Also, after that, I will take...
That's a very dangerous person to lose.
I'm going to stalk Isabel now. After a while, I see her like walking around, and I'm just like,
no.
scurrying down, and I'm like, I want to stalk her, and then I'm going to pickpocket you.
Just basically, I'll return back to where we were camping, sort of as a group. And if anyone returns before I sort of settle in for the evening, they'll find sort of Kit sitting there, modestly dressed, but kind of stripped down as much as possible, basically retracing over all the ink on her arms with basically just with the tip of a finger, and allowing those markings to come up through her recently healed scar tissue.
You can add those in. Very nice. And
It's gonna be like
you've got access to those documents already.
I do.
Excellent. Now, in the ruins.
in the wind.
My brain struggled with the timeline of that, so I messed it up. I'm Alright, if there's nothing else anyone would like to do, we might call the session there, because it is, yes.
I would like to take us to the campfire. I think this might be a nice way to end the
Evening time.
I took one stick of incense from her. Yeah, full left. And I was like walking behind her while she's like, and I'm like,
Spicy.
So Lollyput's commandeered a tent to prepare for his upcoming show, and you can probably go in there and see his disguised himself a kimono, and he has his hair in a hairnet as he's kind of like preparing. Peter picked a pack of pickled peppers. Peter picked a pack of pickled peppers. Okay, showtime. And then he whispers a prayer before he heads out to the campfire. Lolth, be with me. Cool. And heads out and starts to tell to the assembled Lingiari the tale of Tim Tam and the adventure of the Underdark Empire. And he describes a grand and mighty adventure of a hero, a barbarian named Tim Tam, who proceeded under the earth to where the sun does not light nor illuminate, but instead the light comes from mushrooms. Something so bizarre and surreal, so alien to these people. Lollyput takes on many disguises as he kind of tells the tale of a quest to this forgotten land and the discovery of a civilization of tribal Underdark gnomes far in the reaches who worshipped a Umberhulk like a god at this massive pyramid, this massive, almost like Aztec style pyramid. The tale is dripping in adventure and danger and forbidden love as Tim Tam falls in love with the village princess who is to be sacrificed to the Umber Hulk, yet saves her, defeating the Umber Hulk, this false god, battling the dangers and traps of this pyramid and returning to the surface with treasure and a beautiful princess in his arms.
So appreciate food and all through the story. Especially in relation to the Umber Hulk. They're quite interested in what an Umber Hulk is.
Take on the form of a very small Umber Hulk, and then it's way bigger, real big.
They decided that they would love to see a conflict between an Umber Hulk and a Sith.
Yeah, that'd be real cool.
Take a spider. It's your spider from now on.
Yes.
With that epic tail.
Alright, we will finish up there. Thank you for joining us once again.
Yeah.
So, 10 o'clock, look at that.
Perfect.
I mean, we could discuss the bountiful clothes I get as a part of the next
So,
episode.
the designer is stuff down.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you for joining us. Hopefully, we will see you all next week for session 24. And then the week after that, it is the return of Cult of Hunger. I don't even remember my character for Cult of Hunger because I missed the last two. Last one.
Yes, you are.
Worst druid.
Cult of Hunger.
Let's find out where we go up to.
I can't remember what I played out because Fig died.
Don't punch the fairy. Don't punch the fairy.
Ah, Caliban. Yes.
Oh no.
I'm very excited. I'm very excited to return that. I'll be sitting over there somewhere. On the side of my hands. Getting some revenge for the chaos.
There is no revenge for this time.
So we'll see you in a week's time. And until then, have a lovely week.
See you. Bye.